story of this trip is running to catch flights. The Prince of Abu Dhabi. Like a little stiebel. Beautiful beaches, very upper class. Sheikh Zayed, Grand Mosque. VIP golf buggy. It's that time of the trip and home sweet home. For a country which is pretty much third world, to have such a fancy airport is quite incredible. Completely mind blown how nice this airport is. I think they should start working on the actual country now as well. Wow, the story of this trip is running to catch flights. We made check-in by 2 minutes and quickly gonna run through security and hopefully we make this. And per usual, I'm the last guy to the gate. I've been to the airport in Qatar, Dubai, Singapore. This is well up there. Flying tonight, Air India from Mumbai to Abu Dhabi. First impressions of the airline isn't incredible. There's no power outlets. I get that budget airline sometimes, power outlets. There's no screen either. But with all that said, the legroom is pretty decent, so I'm not going to complain. Okay, it's not so bad. Free drink and some peanuts. Because it's only a 3-hour flight, there's no option to get kosher food. However, we were able to order carb fruit, so yeah, I'm happy about that. Thank you, thank you. Just landed here in Abu Dhabi. I've actually flown from and to Abu Dhabi, but I've actually never toured the place. So yeah, we're going to do that now. One thing which has changed since I was here last time, there used to be a proper immigration, we have to show your passport. Now it just works with e-passport, much quicker, much easier. From landing to get to the hotel in under an hour, that's very decent. Staying in the Ibis hotel tonight, very good price, and it looks like a very nice hotel. Here in the Ibis hotel, free breakfast. Obviously there isn't going to be too much kosher. However, they do have soy milk and some cereals. So yeah, that's more than enough for me. Leaving our hotel, I'm going to tour a bit of Abu Dhabi. The sun in the Middle East is so much stronger than in other Asian countries, so I'm wearing the shades. Anyway, here in Abu Dhabi, the capital of the United Arab Emirates. Nope, it's not Dubai. And there's around 2 million people which live here. So how much does a standard hotel cost here in Abu Dhabi? So we originally paid £50 to around $60. When I came to the check-in desk, I had booked for the wrong day. So we had to rebook on the spot and it cost £70, which is not bad for quite a nice place. Free breakfast, swimming pool. We're about to take an Uber, quite fairly priced here in the United Arab Emirates. And you're always guaranteed to get a really decent car. But I think the local taxis are slightly cheaper, but I'm using Uber just a bit easier and quicker. Part of visiting any place, you have to do some shopping. So I put in to come to the old souk, but it looks very, very modern. I think they've just got an old souk style rebuilt in a new mall. It's definitely a very nice, modern, up-to-date souk. Nice souvenir shops, cafes, but not so authentic Arabic style, which I'm looking for. But yeah, something different. And obviously part of every trip is finding my father a snow globe. Behind me is the authentic Arabic teapots, and they've got them in incredible sizes to feed the whole country. Just got a notification from the airline that our flight is delayed by 2.5 hours, which is good for 2 reasons. Number one is I get to see more of Abu Dhabi, and number 2 is I can watch United Arsenal game. Behind me is a huge picture of the Prince of Abu Dhabi, and it's made out of loads of different gems. So they've sanded down gemstones and created this image. In some random supermarket here in Abu Dhabi, and they have some gushers, roll-ups, Jolly Ranchers with the OU Hechsher. The longer I'm spending this mall, I'm starting to like it. Even though it's quite modern, the fact they've taken an old style souk and recreated it into something new, it's quite clever, it's quite nice. So far my impression of Abu Dhabi is it's very similar to Qatar, Dubai, very futuristic, built up. At the same time, quite quiet, lonely, quite plastic, not much of its own culture. So yeah, there was no settlement in Abu Dhabi before 1761, and then tribesmen came in, and it started off as just a fishing village because it's next to the coast, and then from then it turned into a city as soon as they discovered the oil which they had. Behind me is the Etihad Towers, which is 5 skyscrapers next to each other, the tallest being 305 meters and the shortest one being 217 meters. I think it's most famous for is on the scene in Fast and Furious 6 when a car goes flying from one building into the other one. this mega project was finished in 2011, but since then there's taller buildings, as you can see that one over there, which is 340 meters tall, and that's not even the biggest, that's the second to biggest. The biggest being the Burj Muhammad something, which is named after the prince, which is almost 400 meters tall. Behind over here is the entrance to the palace, where I think the prince of Abu Dhabi lives. The heat here is actually really nice. It's not humid, it's a very dry heat, and has a nice pleasant breeze with it as well. One thing which is quite amazing is that even though we're essentially in a desert, there's a lot of greenery which they have around the city. Behind me is a cute little mosque. You have a small tower, a small dome. I would say it's the equivalent of like a little stiebel. It won't be a day in Abu Dhabi without coming to the beach. Although Abu Dhabi can't really offer you authentic Arabic culture or crazy experiences, I still think it makes a beautiful holiday. Beautiful beaches, very upper class, lovely hotels. You've got great weather the whole year round, very relaxing, and yeah, there's a kosher restaurant here. So yeah, definitely a good place to visit. And I think the main difference between here and Dubai is it's not as wow, but it's a lot cheaper, a lot less touristy, a lot quieter, a lot more natural. So yeah, in my personal opinion, Abu Dhabi will be my pick. Behind me is Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque. So if you come in to pray, you can enter over here. If you're a tourist, just like me, you have to go down there and go underground into the mosque. Behind me it says in big, #tolerance, and that's the inspiration behind building such a big mosque, to unite different cultures, different religions, different people together. And here we are by the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque, the biggest mosque in the United Arab Emirates, and one of the biggest ones in the world. The construction for this mosque was completed in 2007, and it took 100,000 ton of white marble to build this construction at a staggering, unbelievable price, over $500 million. This mosque all the way around has 82 domes, the largest one being 84 meters high, which is at the top over there. So someone just told me that you can't explain anything about the mosque on a video, so I'm just going to take normal videos. Things in there which I couldn't speak about, and one was because you're not allowed to have shoes on the floor, they have a raised platform so you're not actually standing on the floor, and it just saves time from everyone taking off their shoes. Number two is it was the largest handmade rug carpet in the world, 67,000 square feet, and one more thing was that they have 24 karat gold, huge stunning chandeliers as well. Wow, we're even getting a VIP golf buggy back out to the exit. I like this service. What is also surprising is that it's such a huge tourist attraction, and yet it's 100% free. All you have to do is get a small QR code and show it, but it's all free. As I'm sure you can realize, I'm not wearing a cap, I'm wearing my capo, and my entire day here, I haven't had one comment from anyone. So yeah, it does feel very safe and comfortable being here. How come you moved from Pakistan to come to work here?
This is good.
Good money over there?
Of course, it's no good money. I'm not coming here.
yeah, you don't.
It's better my country. This country is better.
You prefer home, but here there's much better money.
Salary is good, 10,000, 20,000, and then no tax.
No tax?
No, here is.
And it's cheaper to live.
Yeah, it's a good salary, no good salary, and
Right.
then is a accommodation free, insurance free. Yes.
Well, you think it's a good life there?
Yeah, of course, my friend. Is a life is better than.
Here we are arriving at the kosher place, the kosher restaurant. Here we are in the kosher place restaurant. We have another location in Dubai, great food, and I think it's the same there. I've ordered some food to take away as well, so we can have it in the airport tonight. It's definitely not the cheapest place like the kebab houses in India, but it's fair price for what it is. Very nice venue in a fancy area, good quality food, good service. Beautiful meal here at the restaurant, definitely recommend, but you might get bored of it if you're here for like a week, but they do have quite a good menu. Sorry about the past few videos, hasn't been so clear, but we're heading back to the airport. We've got a notification that our flight's delayed by a few hours. I hope it keeps getting delayed and then we get nice compensation. It's that time of the trip, we're starting to head towards the UK after 2.5 weeks being away. Even though our flight is delayed 4 hours, they still made us come to the airport for the original check-in time. So we have the next 4 hours here. Not complaining, it's a nice airport. Look around, shop around, go to the lounge, watch the Manchester United game. Here in Abu Dhabi lounge on our 4-hour delay, and we have this traditional noodle soup which I've taken to over 11 countries, and yeah, having something to eat, some noodles. Just booked in for the shower soon, and Barkshaw got some fresh clothing to get into because I'll be travelling for pretty much the next day. Well, I feel $1 million after that shower. One of the best priority lounges I've been to. Good shower, good towel. Lots of places have a very thin towel. Here with a good thick towel, hair comb, toothbrush, earbuds, absolutely everything. Really good places. After 4 hours being in the airport, we're finally heading towards our gate. And of course the delay is not long enough for compensation. But yeah, listen, I've only got a long stopover in Vienna, which is my next stop. So it doesn't really matter, I prefer waiting here than waiting in Vienna. So Barkshaw, all good. 3 hours and 20 minutes after original takeoff, we're about to board, and they're probably going to make it in the 4-hour margin. They've been rushing the boarding like crazy just to get it under the 4-hour mark. Wow, they are rushing. There's people running around everywhere to get this flight to take off and land within 4 hours of the original time, so there's no compensation. Good morning from Vienna. Longest flight on a budget airline, 6 hours, and it's freezing here. Got another 2 hours to my next flight, and I bought extra food in the restaurant tonight in Abu Dhabi because I know I'll be very hungry. This trip almost 3 weeks ago started off with a Ryanair flight, and our final flight home is again with Ryanair. After travelling for 3 weeks, coming back home into Manchester, very mixed feelings. On the one hand, very excited to see my family, relax, get back to normal life. But on the other hand, it's a rather big anticlimax from high adrenaline, 3 weeks, travelling around the world, to just coming back to rainy Manchester. Final leg of the trip, the taxi on the way to my house. Thank you so much for watching the vlogs, hope you've enjoyed. And if you have, make sure to give it a like, comment and subscribe. And home sweet home.